was a typical USC UCLA rivalry game, very physical. Both teams played extremely hard. They're an outstanding team, very well coached. Coach Cronin does a great job, and their players are really hard to guard. I thought our guys did an amazing job in the second half, being down 12 at halftime, coming out with a lot of fire. And I thought the key was to get back in the game pretty quickly, which we did. And we just defended and tried to rebound the best we could. So very, very proud of our players. We really improved as a team, and hopefully everybody saw that.
Andy, can you talk about Boogie? No turnovers tonight.
6 assists and no turnovers, 31 points, 27 in the second half. That's a pretty special game. And we started to isolate him. We tried to set ball screens and get him on some of the defenders that we thought he could attack. And he did a nice job of making the right decisions and made a couple big shots for us.
How much did it mean for him just to have that, especially given the way the last USC-UCLA game ended?
Well, yeah, Boogie was upset last game at Poly where he was shocked to tie it at the end. Also was called for an offensive screen with 15 seconds left in the game, so he was disappointed. But hey, we're a team. That one play doesn't decide a game usually. But when you have close games down in the last minute, you like to win some. So tonight, didn't come down the last minute. Our guys did their job.
Did that comeback at Poly give you a base for a belief at halftime tonight that you could make the run that you did? I think it was 27-6 over the first 12 and 30 to really, you guys took complete control of the game at that point.
Well, I think our team has been very streaky at times this year offensively. In the first half, we were up 14-9, and we didn't score for about, I don't know how many minutes. So we knew we had to do a better job offensively. Boogie was 0 for 5 at halftime from the three-point line. And your best players have to step up in games like this. Drew and Boogie are best offensive players, and Drew had 4 turnovers at halftime, and Boogie was 2 for 7, 0 for 5 from 3. So we were getting pretty clean looks, but we weren't playing with the aggressiveness on offense because UCLA overplays are very physical. And I think we couldn't get in the bonus. We couldn't even get a shooting foul because we weren't doing our job offensively. So I think the last game, every game is different, but we've been down quite a few times this season and have come back and won.
Coach, what were the defensive adjustments at the half? They started off scoring early. Tiger Campbell had 10 and half, ended the game with only 14 points. What were the adjustments made?
Well, we really started to hard edge the ball screens, try to put pressure on the guards so Campbell couldn't get in the lane and the other guys. And then our big players, our centers, Josh and Vince, did a really good job of getting out on the ball screens and then getting back before they could reverse the ball or throw it into their bigs at the rim. And other players tag on the ball screen roll and get back to the perimeter. The three-point line was a huge factor. We keep leaving David Singleton open, which is frustrating. He's a really good player, but you focus so much on Hawkes and Campbell, and then here comes Singleton making four threes, and that's when they're at their best, when other guys in that team make shots.
Coach, right here. This is the most media I've seen in here in the last 15 years. What does that say about USC basketball?
Well, it's our 10th year as a staff. Coach Capro's been with me the whole time. Other guys like Jason Hart have moved on, but Coach Mobley's been with me 5 or 6 years. Mike Sweat's 6, 7 years. Curtis Schultz, our strength coach, been with me the whole time. He's my first hire 10 years ago. Coach Morris just joined us last year, but we've had tremendous stability, including our trainer, Jay Y, who's a miracle worker. He's been with me the whole time. So we have great stability on our staff, and we try to build a program that can compete within our league and compete nationally. And very happy and very proud of the job our assistant coaches and our staff do on a daily basis. Kirk Karras, our director of scouting, and Desmond Farmer, they've been with us a long time. And so every day we come into work, we try to make this place a better team and better program. It all comes down to your players, who you recruit, how you develop them. Very proud of our 100% graduation rate in 10 years. Guys have stayed, and our players get better. 7 guys in the NBA the last 5 years. So I think what's special for coaches is you're in this game long enough, and those players that help build this thing come back, like D'Anthony Melton, Jonah Matthews, and Jordan McLaughlin, and Chimezi Metu, and Onyeka Kongwu, and and of course the Mobleys. Kevin Porter Jr. is in the NBA now, and so Nick Kosovic was a heck of a player. So those guys kind of got us over the hump to rebuild this program, and now they're on their way, making great careers for themselves, still playing basketball. And now we have a new wave of guys, but that success throughout our program has allowed us to recruit Vincent Uwachukwu out of San Antonio, Trey White, Uzziah Sellers, etc., Keanu Wright, and now we have the 6th-ranked recruiting class in the country coming in next year with Isaiah Collier and Silas Deming Jr., who's here, and Arrington Page, a big kid. So we're very proud of where our program is right now. However, this is a long season, and we need to stay focused, because in this game anything can happen. And if you watch us, sometimes we're a little streaky, so we have to enjoy this win and realize there's a lot of basketball to be played.
You talk about the home court advantage all the time. Can you talk about tonight's atmosphere? Because it seemed like it might have been the loudest I've heard this.
I thought last year's game and this year's game were the two best atmospheres we played in 10 years. And last year and this year we're as good as any place in the country. I've been coaching off and on for 28 years in the NBA and in college, coaching the ACC, so I've been doing this a long time. And if you go to some of the arenas, our home crowd this year and last year at the UCLA game was as good as anywhere I've ever been. And it's such a big advantage for our players. We would not have come back from 12 down at halftime without that energy that the fans provide. And we're very, very thankful for that.
And was part of your plan to,
I'll get you next.
You talked a lot about how much this team has improved since the beginning of the season. What kind of statement do you feel like this is entering February?
Well, we need a big statement win. We almost had it at Pauley 3 weeks ago, and we won a great game on the road at Arizona State on Saturday. Our team is playing very well. They've improved a lot, and that's what we like to see. Now we have Vince back, and he's a difference maker with his length. He may not be a huge scorer right now, but he really creates problems with his length and his athleticism inside, and he's a good rebounder. So it's fun to see the progression of teams. This team is, we weren't sure what we had, especially after the first game. We lost on opening night, and we could have played anybody and lost that game. We were so bad. So we're very proud of our guys hanging in there and improving.
Andy, was it part of your recruiting strategy to have Silas here to be able to tell him this is what it's always like?
Well, he's already signed with us, so we don't have to press him. His family wanted to come out here. He wanted to come out here for a game, and I think his high school team's 24-3 right now. He's having an amazing senior year. What a great player he is. But I think it's cool to have him see this atmosphere, because we need that next wave of guys when Drew and Boogie leave to come in here and help us keep this winning in the future.
Coach, where does this Boogie Ellis rivalry performance rank in your eyes over these past 10 years at UCLA?
Well, I'd say Boogie this year and Drew Peterson last year, pretty special performances. Drew had 27, I think 12 rebounds, 27 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists last year, and Boogie has 27 in the second half, 31, 6 assists, no turnovers. That's pretty special. So those guys, as I said, are our two most talented offensive players. They're all first team all conference, and you need those players to step up in big games, and they did.
How much easier does like a Boogie Ellis make your job when you're playing a tough defensive team like UCLA? The shot clock's getting low, and he can just go get his at the end of the shot clock and do his thing.
Well, we started. We changed our offensive style in the second half. Instead of trying to get ball movement, we just went right to Boogie and Drew and put them in isolations and had them create for themselves and for others. And Boogie, when he gets it going, he's really hard to guard, because he can drive it, he can pass it, and he can step back and shoot a deep three. But he played like a first-round draft pick tonight. It was very impressive.